You are watching KAVU 25 News Now weekends at 5:30.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Amaya Norman. One local college provides relief for students facing food insecurities, giving them options when they might be struggling. 25 News Now reporter Trenton Whiting joins us to share the details on this initiative. Now, Trenton, what exactly is the school doing to help students?
Well, Amaya, Victoria College has what they call a pirate pantry to support their students. It's a completely free service for Victoria College students. And once a week, students can go in and grab up to 10 food items and 3 personal health items to help support them through critical moments. VC reps say it's a privilege to be able to support their students in this way.
We want to be that local pantry that our students can access for whenever they're in need, whenever they're in challenges. We know our students, that is something that they struggle with. We have seen an uptick in our students coming to visit the pantry. So we have been preparing just by stocking our shelves, making sure that we've got a good partnerships with our local community, with our foundation here on campus as well, to be able to just keep the inventory stocked for our students.
The Pirate Pantry was first created as a collaboration between VC and Texas A&M Victoria when it was still part of the University of Houston system. Now, VC reps say that increasing uncertainty surrounding SNAP benefits has led to higher traffic for the pantry. VC is hoping to keep it stocked for any students in need while this uncertainty is going on. Amaya?
The Wharton Police Department is investigating a deadly auto pedestrian accident that happened Friday in the 500 block of East Bowling Highway. Officers found a woman dead at the scene. Her name has not been released until family members are notified. Police say the driver who hit the woman called 911 and stayed on the scene. He was released as the investigation continues. The Wharton Police Department says this is an active case. In Hoover Street between Navarro Street and Dairy Road will be closed for repairs starting Monday, November 10th through Friday, November 14th. City officials say all businesses and homes in the construction zone will still be accessible. Drivers are advised to plan ahead and use a detour route to avoid delays. Now let's go to Trey Mining with the first look at our forecast. Trey, the weather felt nice this morning when I went outside for a walk with my dog. So how's the weather going to be looking for the rest of the week in the Crossroads?
Yeah, it's nice and cool for sure. A little bit on the windy side though. Still the fire danger with the clear skies, low humidities, and the high wind still continuing. So red flag warnings in effect for the Crossroads area until 9 p.m. Current temperature on the outside, 71 degrees. This time yesterday we were about 90 degrees, believe it or not. Quite a change in the 24-hour period. And the humidity 20%, very low. That's why the fire danger is one of the reasons why the fire danger is so great. We need to pay attention to that. So no burning, please. Take a look at the highs today, 77 degrees, 77 degrees. Trying to say it's kind of hard sometimes. And just about on average for our normal high for this time of year. Above normal for our normal low, but that'll be falling quite a bit tonight. See some 30s across the area possibly. We'll talk about that and any rain chances, trying to find some rain chances out there. We'll see what we can find coming up later on in the full 7-day outlook. Amaya?
Thank you, Trey. A massive police response to this morning in San Antonio after a deadly shooting left 3 people dead and sent neighborhoods into lockdown. Here is the latest.
Sky 4 over the scene this morning as dozens of law enforcement officers swarmed an area near Mission Landscaping. SWAT officers with rifles and canine units searching frantically after a man opened fire this morning, killing 2 men and a woman. The police chief saying there are still many questions about what happened.
Don't know the motive right now, but it was not random.
People who live in a nearby neighborhood were told to stay inside after a gunman fled into the woods. Some families showed up fearing the worst. Wilmer Perez said his family was waiting for word from police after not hearing from his aunt.
We came looking for my aunt because she was working here.
Officers continue to scour the area for nearly 4 hours. The search finally coming to an end when officers found the gunman with a self-inflicted gunshot wound in the nearby woods.
The holidays will be here before you know it. Are your wallets ready to go shopping? The National Retail Federation Project says shoppers will spend a record amount this holiday season. The Federation estimates spending will top $1 trillion for the first time despite economic uncertainty and rising prices. Officials say shoppers remain price conscious and are trading down to cheaper brands, but are still spending on gifts for family and friends. Consumers expect to spend an average of $8,090 on holiday gifts, food, and decor. And the government shutdown is now stretching into the 40th day. Many airports are dealing with staffing shortages because federal workers aren't getting paid. It's causing mass chaos at airports coast to coast, and it's all happening just as airports should be preparing for the busiest Thanksgiving holiday travel season. Jen Sullivan reports on why the shutdown is massively disrupting flights.
Passengers at airports across the country are dealing with mass flight delays and cancellations.
Our first flight, it got delayed an hour and then another hour, and now it's delayed 3 hours, so we are missing our connecting flight.
At Newark Liberty International Airport in New Jersey, hundreds of flights were affected Saturday.
I had a flight going from here to Charlotte, and then they canceled my flight.
With the government shut down, millions of federal workers are not getting paid. TSA agents and air traffic controllers are still expected to come to work, but many are calling out because they can't afford the gas to come in or childcare costs.
They feel desperate, hopeless, mad, and there's just appears to be no end in sight.
The sick calls are causing staffing shortages at airports and aviation support facilities across the country, and without enough staff, they cannot operate safely.
I have more complaints coming into the FAA from pilots who are saying that air traffic controllers are not as responsive.
The FAA says it will gradually reduce air traffic by up to 10% by November 14th at 40 major airports. The decision could cut thousands of flights a day. The weather is also playing a factor. Parts of the Midwest and northern New England are seeing snow or heavy rain. There was also dense fog in Los Angeles Sunday. All of this coming right before Thanksgiving.
It's only going to get worse. You're going to see air travel be reduced to a trickle.
As of 3:30 Sunday afternoon, more than 7,000 flights were delayed nationally and nearly 2,100 were canceled, according to FlightAware. In New York, I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
The Victoria County Commissioner Court will meet Monday at 10 a.m. at the Victoria County Courthouse in room 241. On the agenda, commissioners will discuss and consider a new design for the terminal building at the Victoria Regional Airport. The court will also review an agreement with the STARS Clinic to help operate the Nurse Family Partnership Program, and along with more items on the agenda. And for more local news, content, weather, and sports, come to our website at crossroadstoday.com. And if you see news happening, let us know. Call the number on your screen to contact our newsroom or email us your tips at staff@crossroadstoday.com. America's household debt, it's a record high. We'll tell you what's driving the nearly $19 trillion total next.
And a reminder, today's Sunday, of course, all Crossroads County is under a red flag warning in effect throughout the entire day until 9 p.m. Humidity quite low on the outside, winds quite high. That's the ingredients for a fire to get out of control. No outdoor burning, please. Will this last all week? Find out in the full forecast.
Here's a look at what you can expect on this week's show. We hear from the Victoria ISD, Keep Victoria Beautiful. We learn about a turkey trot, and we also hear from Animal Services.
But if you have somebody that's elderly that's worried about falling or tripping, we want them to feel safe in their neighborhood. You should be able to ride a bike or walk down any street in Victoria and not worry about getting chased by dogs.
Welcome back. The Trump administration immigration crackdown continuing during the shutdown. Two major developments, including one dealing with deploying the National Guard in Oregon. ABC's Alex Stone joins us.
When federal immigration agents surged into Portland in September, the president said efforts there were needed to clean up the city.
There's a huge problem in Portland. I'll tell you what the problem is: crime.
But local leaders, including the city's police chief, said that was not true. That yes, there had been some protests, at times violent, but they were relatively small and could be handled by local and federal law enforcement.
It's just been terrible to see what ICE is doing to our communities. We're scared for our neighbors. We're scared for our friends.
On Friday, Trump appointed federal judge Karen Immergut, issuing a permanent injunction blocking troop deployment by the president into Portland. The ruling finding the president did not have a lawful basis to federalize the National Guard. The judge saying the federal government exaggerated claims of violence in the city and that there is no rebellion in Portland. The Department of Homeland Security responding, saying the president is using his lawful authority to direct the National Guard to protect federal assets and personnel in Portland. This weekend in Chicago, federal agents again clashing with protesters. Agents say during an operation in the Little Village neighborhood of Chicago, multiple gunshots were fired by somebody directly at the federal agents. Nobody was hit. The shooter got away. The president's efforts to deploy troops in Chicago also currently blocked by the courts. In Chicago, a federal judge also temporarily barring the Trump administration from deporting Diana Galliano, a daycare worker arrested by federal agents last week as parents were dropping off their children. The Department of Homeland Security accusing her of paying a smuggler to bring her own kids into the country, her attorneys saying she has a valid work permit.
They didn't just walk in chasing one person. They went into multiple rooms asking and looking for teachers.
And in Chicago, the federal government is appealing to the U.S. Supreme Court to be allowed to send in troops. And in Portland, it can ask the Ninth Circuit to overrule that Trump-appointed judge. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Household debt in America has reached a record high. According to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, the country's total household debt has increased to nearly $19 trillion. That figure includes mortgages, car loans, credit cards, and student loans. Credit card and student loan debt both also reaching record high at more than $1 trillion each. Researchers say despite the increasing debt, household balance sheets remain pretty strong. And lawmakers back on Capitol Hill for another weekend session as the stallment over government funding stretches into another day and pressure mounts to end the shutdown. Here is the latest.
The Senate convening for a rare weekend session as the deadlock over government funding stretches into another day. Democrats offering to reopen the government in exchange for a one-year extension of health care tax credits, a proposal Republicans swiftly rejected.
We're not going to extend this program for a year because that would be unfair to the taxpayer.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer calling that a mistake, saying,
"Our offer is not a new policy. This is not negotiating in a shutdown. It's simply agreeing to maintain current funding levels."
Senate Majority Leader John Thune insisting there's only one way forward.
There's still only one path out. It's a clean funding extension.
As lawmakers clash on Capitol Hill, the impacts of the shutdown continue to impact American families. More than 42 million Americans who rely on SNAP benefits to feed their families now face uncertainty as funding for the program remains at the center of a high-stakes court battle. Late Friday, Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson pausing a lower court's ruling requiring the Trump administration to fully fund SNAP for the month of November, giving a lower court time to review the matter. At least 9 states have now stepped in, using state dollars to cover SNAP benefits as the legal fight continues. And across the country, travelers are feeling the fallout. Airlines slashing flights at 40 major airports under an emergency order from the FAA. Up to 10% of flights could be cut in an effort to relieve pressure on the system as air traffic controllers and TSA agents continue working without pay and many calling out sick. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, New York.
We have a baby formula recall we need to tell you about. By Heart brand is voluntarily pulling 2 batches of its whole nutrition infant formula. The company says the recall is being made out of abundance of caution. The move comes after the Food and Drug Administration started investigating a wave of infant botulism cases across the U.S. The agency hasn't tied any formula to the illness. The company says it will keep working to ensure safety and transparency going forward. You can get more information about the recall at ByHeart website. Experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. Stream our daily newscasts and much more using your connected TV. Just download Crossroads Today Plus on your Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or Android TV. Search Crossroads Today Plus.
Look at these humidity levels, quite low, 20%, even less than that, 18% in Goliad, 12% in Beeville. Very low humidity, very dry air. And don't burn anything on the outside, because conditions like this with the winds we're having can get out of control very easily. What about the rest of the week forecast? How's it looking? Any rain chances? Maybe so. Good evening, everyone. Happy Sunday. Look at the humidity levels once again, 20%, even in the teens. How about that? 18% in Goliad, 12% in Beeville. Very dry air. And this won't be lasting too much longer, especially through your Monday. It'll be fine with low humidities. Then the humidity begins to turn later on in the week for the more humidity returning off the Gulf of Mexico. But first things first, let's take a look at what's going on right now. And the rest of the temperature scheme coming up. Northerly winds keeping that in place, keeping the dry air flowing in from the north. And temperatures will be in the 50s, 40s, and even some few 30s, possibly early tomorrow morning, right along the Hallettsville, Gonzales area, more than likely, about 39 degrees or so by 7 a.m. on your Monday. So definitely jacket weather in the morning, light sweater or so. And then keeping it cool throughout the entire day. Temperatures maybe low 60s, upper 50s for highs coming up for your day Monday. But notice as we go through your day Monday into your day on Tuesday, we'll see the winds begin to shift more from the south and southeast, bringing back the humidity. And the winds trying to calm down a little bit now, 10 to 15 miles per hour current on the outside, with a few higher gusts still. By early morning hours, still from the north, about 10 to 15 miles per hour at that time. But watch the small arrows beginning to move more from the south as we click through the rest of the time period here. Coming in, bringing in that moisture off the Gulf of Mexico. So coming in by Tuesday, in the morning time, in the afternoon especially, we'll begin to see higher humidity around here. And more of a warm up that'll follow soon after this, with the Gulf air coming in, giving us high temperatures in the 80s for most of the week, except for tomorrow, and more than likely on Tuesday. And then we'll see more humidity levels by then toward the end of the week as well, which might lead to some rain chances coming up by the weekend. More on that here in a little bit. Front of the Gulf of Mexico, northerly winds, still bringing that cool, dry air in, high pressure building in the state of Texas as we speak. Lastly, through your day Monday, moving to the east rather quickly, coming up for your Monday night into Tuesday, allowing that southerly wind to return. No rain as of yet, keeping the atmosphere rather dry, and the temperatures cool for the time being, then warming up after that. Victoria, early morning hours, 42 degrees by 6 a.m. So definitely jacket or light sweater weather by then. Sunny skies throughout the entire day, low humidity in place, keeping it very dry. Highs about 60 degrees at best, but definitely on the chilly side throughout the day. Port Lavaca, 47 degrees, a little bit warmer because you're right on the coast. With sunny skies throughout the entire day for your Port Lavaca forecast. Calhoun County and Cuero as well. We'll have sunny skies throughout the entire day after a cool start in the morning time. Highs maybe 62, 63 degrees at best, by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So definitely a cool, definitely a fall feeling day for your Monday. Notice as the temperatures begin to rise as the humidity returns, coming in on southerly winds about their entire forecast period after about Tuesday afternoon or so. Maybe some rain chances coming up by Saturday and Sunday when the next front gets closer to us. Low temperatures in 30s and 40s coming up overnight tonight. Definitely bundle up. It's going to be a little chilly side. Then warming up toward the end of the week. So not bad a forecast whatsoever. Let's take a look at this right here. This is the QR code. You see it there on your screen. That'll take you to a web page. You can download our app. News, weather, and sports at your fingertips. Easy, convenient, and free of charge to have on your phone be connected with us with what's going on in the Crossroads. Speaking of sports and what's going on in the Crossroads sports-wise, here is Ray Robinson.
Thank you, Trey. This Sunday afternoon saw a local soccer youth team wrap up their regular season. Hear from the players and a coach coming up in sports. Wrapping up fall sports here in the Crossroads, the Victoria Fire team from the Victoria Youth Soccer Organization closed out their regular season this afternoon. The team has competed exceptionally well, continuing their dominance on the field. Today at Riverside, they faced off against the Lone Star Gray Northern 15U team. The Victoria Fire secured a 3-0 victory with a strong defense and impressive offense. The team went undefeated all season long. Truly a fire that refused to be put out. After a tough last season with only 3 wins, they made a remarkable comeback this year. Here's a word from a coach and their 2 standout players.
It comes down to hard work. They've put a lot of work in the training field. They've learned to communicate better. Their skills are growing, and we've just made them a whole lot tougher, and they've become impossible to beat. So that's
I feel like I worked really well with my teammates today. We had quite a few good, just 1-2s, and that's really what I'm there for because I'm mostly midfield. So, I'm trying to feed it out to people like Claire, who play wing, or Victoria. So, and that worked a bit.
I'm feeling amazing. My team did really well this season. I'm really proud of them. We all came together as a team to, just push through our season and be undefeated champions.
Cross-country season here in the Crossroads is also highly competitive at the collegiate level. Victoria College had 4 runners compete in the NJCAA National Cross Country Championship races. In the men's division, the team consisted entirely of freshmen. Cameron Mitchell finished with a time of 32 minutes, 32 seconds, .6. Placing 201st, Max Barnett clocked 34 minutes, 9 seconds, .5 split seconds. Finishing in 206th place, and Clayton Havlaka completed the race in 37 minutes and 2 seconds and .7 seconds, placing 210th. The sole women competitor was sophomore McKenna Zarate, who finished with a time of 27 minutes, 17 seconds, .5, placing 174th. Big congratulations to these dedicated athletes on their impressive performances. And as the college football regular season slowly comes to an end, you can still expect to see some elite college football playoff action from the state of Texas. The Texas A&M Aggies remain at the forefront of the college football conversation for the first time since 1992. I know I wasn't born then. The Aggies are undefeated and hold a top 3 ranking in the AP poll. The big question now, can the Aggies remain undefeated and reach their final game against UT? That question will be answered after the next 2 games against South Carolina and Stanford. In a game of overcoming adversity for the Houston Texans, injured but never discouraged. They faced off against the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Texans found themselves in trouble early after a pick from Jerrion Jones and fell behind 17-0, but they fought back hard with their big men stepping up in the final score, 36-29 in favor of the Texans. And week 2 of some NBA action is seeing the Houston Rockets take on Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks. A close game it was, but both teams continue to exchange leads. Durant finished with 31 points as the Rockets come back and win the game. Final score, 122-115. Houston will take on the Wizards on Wednesday. But that does it for your sports. Amaya?
Thank you, Ray. This Sunday, it's all about fried chicken sandwiches. Get the scoop on the deals, discounts, and how to make yours just the way you like it. Next. For clucking good time, Sunday, November 9th is National Fried Chicken Sandwich Day. The celebration dates back to the 1930s, but really took off in 2019 when Popeyes launched its version. Yes, I remember. Since then, fast food chains across the country have joined in, many offering special deals and discounts this weekend. Whether you like yours plain or with sauce, cheese, and pickles, there's no wrong way to celebrate this crispy classic. Y'all, I remember when Popeyes released their first classic chicken.
That was a big thing.
Yes, I was in California at the time, and my family was like, you know what, we want to try the chicken sandwich.
Sure.
Line was out the door.
It was, wasn't it?
For some chicken sandwiches.
Tell you what, you can't go wrong with a chicken sandwich.
You can't, but it's good. It's good.
Some bread, a
It's
piece of
good.
chicken.
It's good.
That sounds like a fancy meal to
Yeah, I
me.
might go to Popeyes today for a chicken sandwich. How's the weather looking, Trey?
No chickens out there.
Nope. Well,
no, well,
they
yes,
somewhere.
They are. Yes, they are. They're somewhere out there. Sunny skies, the low humidity is mighty chilly tonight with the lows in the 40s, maybe a few 30s out there in the morning time. Be careful. Sunny skies, the humidity returns by Tuesday. Maybe a chance of rain by Saturday and Sunday. Highs back in the 80s after Tuesday, after our little cold snap. Lows anywhere from the 60s to the upper 30s to near 40 degrees.
Wow, well, we have to enjoy this cool weather while we have it, and then we back hot in the humidity again.
Typical South Texas just warms back up.
I see. Well, thank you for joining us. We hope you be with us tonight for 25 News Now Weekend at 10. Have a good day and see you.